the feral predator from Prey versus the city hunter predator from Predator 2, who wins? In the red corner we have Feral, a member of a previously unknown species of Yautja, different from both the classic predators and the super predators. He's known for his hunt in the Comanche territory of North America in the year 1719, where he hunted the local wildlife including an adult grizzly bear and also battled Naru, a Comanche hunter. He had a biomask made from an animal skull and wore little in the way of armour. He did, however, possess a large variety of weapons and gadgets, including a BoltGun which shot guided ammunition, Wristblades, a wrist shield, a Combistick, razor net, cut clamps, bombs, Cloaking Device, and a Medicomp. He tended to rely more on his brute strength rather than stealth. He took out multiple humans at once and also defeated a bear with a single punch. While he was devastating against less skilled opponents, he also left himself open to attack and would tank a lot of damage, which made him weaker against faster and higher skilled enemies such as Tabe and Naru, who ran rings around him. Strengths. The feral predator, as his name suggests, was a brute in combat and physically very strong, shown to lift a bear over his own head. He also possessed a lot of weapons. Weaknesses. His brutish, savage personality and weaponry allowed him to dominate less capable prey, but left himself unguarded a lot of the time, and a more agile opponent could exploit his openings during combat. Furthermore, he also wore less armour than most other predators do. He was ultimately outsmarted and outwitted by his human prey. Being from 300 years in the past, his equipment is outdated when compared to that of his opponent here. And in the blue corner we have City Hunter, a classic predator and member of the Lost Tribe. City Hunter battled human enemies in the city of Los Angeles in the year 1997. He started off with gang members and then targeted an LAPD detective named Mike Harrigan. He carried advanced armour, weapons and equipment, including a biomask which allowed him to see in multiple light spectrums, and had a lot of body armour. The City Hunter was equipped with Wristblades, a plasma caster, smart disc, Combistick, spear launcher, an energy flechette, Cloaking Device, self-destruct gauntlet, as well as a medikit for cauterizing wounds. City Hunter was a skilled and stealthy hunter and took out multiple enemies without even being seen. However, like his opponent, once confronted by a more capable foe, his tactics began to fall apart and he would become more and more reckless. Strengths. The City Hunter was also physically strong and was seen to lift Danny with one hand. He survived after being shot by a shotgun multiple times. He has a lot of body armour for protection and is one of the most heavily armed Yautja of any movie, with lots of advanced weapons. He also seemed smarter than Feral. Weaknesses. While he was very deadly, a possible lack of hunting experience showed when he was foiled by Harrigan. He was also careless at times, leaving weapons and his own biomask behind. Both predators face each other in a standoff. They are flanked by forest, trees and shrubbery. Both reach for their spear shooting weapons. Feral grabs for his BoltGun, but City Hunter is quicker on the draw, with his being wrist mounted. The spear tip embeds into Feral's torso, but barely phases him. He is capable of taking a lot more punishment than that. Once he's trained the BoltGun on his opponent, he fires. The projectile streaks through the air and hits City Hunter, knocking him to the floor. City Hunter roars in pain as he yanks the bolt out. Feral knows he is less equipped for a long-range fight, so before City Hunter gets up, he takes the opportunity to rush him and closes the gap between the two and draws his Combistick. City Hunter does the same and the two weapons clash in the air. City Hunter tries to strike him with a low blow to sweep the legs, but he sees it coming and blocks. Feral tries the same thing, but the counter-attack is blocked too. He lunges again, but it hits the City Hunter's armour and is deflected. The two circle each other, roaring and trying to intimidate the other into backing down, but neither does. Feral takes a step back and throws his net onto City Hunter. He falls to the floor and it starts to constrict him, but he quickly takes out his smart disc and cuts it open. Feral stabs at him, but he manages to dodge. City Hunter thinks to himself and concludes that this other Yautja matches him in a melee fight, but has less ranged weapons than him. If he can just put some distance between himself and Feral, he can win this. He throws his smart disc at Feral, who ducks down out of the way. City Hunter takes the opportunity to activate his cloak and retreats into the trees lining the sides. As Feral looks back up, he's lost sight of his opponent, but looks back to where the disc was and watches it to see where it goes as it returns to its owner. He sees where it lands and starts climbing up the same tree after City Hunter. City Hunter sees him climbing up after him and jumps across the branches and then back out of the trees and out into the open. Feral follows him back out, but just as he lands, City Hunter pulls out his net gun and fires it at Feral. It envelops him and starts to cut into him. It tangles around almost his entire body except for his arm, which is still grasping the Combistick, which he throws, and it impales the City Hunter through the torso and he drops to his knees. Feral uses his free hand to start using his cut clamps to free himself, but before he can finish doing so, City Hunter aims his plasma caster and fires, hitting the Feral and killing him. City Hunter knows his wounds are fatal, and seconds later he also dies. With both combatants dead, the fight ends in a draw. So when I was weighing up the pros and cons of these two Yautja, I thought they seemed fairly closely matched. Both had lots of weapons and both took a lot of punishment before going down. They even got defeated in a similar way, as the humans used their own weapons against them. So with all these things considered, I thought a fight between City Hunter and the Feral would be a draw. I hope you enjoyed this versus battle and will consider leaving a like on it if you did, and then make sure to leave a comment down below telling everyone who you think would win and with reasons why. Do you think there will be a clear winner or a draw as seen here? Thanks for watching and I'll catch you next time.